Hello friends, myself Dr. Nidhi Darbari on My Education Treasure, and today I am going to explain about the education definition, theories and education in the 21st century. Generally speaking, education is utilized in three senses: knowledge, subject, and a process. When a person achieves degree up to a certain level, we do not call it education. For example, if a person has secured master's degree, then we utilize education in a very narrow sense and call that the person has achieved education up to master's level. In the second sense, education is utilized in a sense of discipline. As for example, if a person had taken education as a paper or as a discipline during his study in any institution, then we utilize education as a subject. In the third sense, education is utilized as a process. In fact, when we talk of education, we talk in the third sense, that is education as a process. Thus, we talk what is education as process, what are their importance, etc. There are various definitions of education. Dr. Zakir Hussain has said that education is the process of the individual mind getting to its full possible development. Redden has described education as the deliberate and systematic influence exerted by the mature upon the immature through instruction, discipline, and harmonious development of physical, intellectual, aesthetic, social, and spiritual powers of the human being according to the individual and social needs and directed towards the union of the educated with his creator at the final end. According to Aristotle, education is the creation of sound mind in a sound body. It develops man's faculty, especially his mind, so that he may be able to enjoy the contemplation of supreme truth, goodness, and beauty. Aurobindo has said that education is helping the growing soul to draw out that is in itself. In Vishnu Puran, it is written, Sa Vidya Ya Vimukte. Froebel opined education is unfoldment of what is already enfolded in the germ. It is the process through which the child makes internal external. G. H. Thompson opined that education is the influence of the environment of the individual with a view to producing a permanent change in his habits of behavior or thought and attitude. According to J. Adams, education is the conscious and deliberate process in which one personality acts upon another in order to modify the development of the other by the communication and manipulation of knowledge. J. F. Herbert said that education is the development of good moral character. John Dewey opined that education is not preparation for life, rather, it is the living. Education is the process of living through a continuous reconstruction of experiences. It is the development of all those capacities in the individual which will enable him to control his environment and fulfill his possibilities. Kautilya wrote that education is the training for country and for the nation. Nehru opined that education is one that enables the individual to be a producer as well as a good citizen. Panini has said that human education means the training which one gets from nature. Plato wrote that education develops in the body and soul of the pupil all the beauty and all the perfection he is capable of. Radhakrishnan said, education according to Indian tradition is not merely a means of earning a living, nor it is only a nursery of thought or a for citizenship. It is initiation into the life of spirit and training of human soul in the pursuit of truth and the practice of virtue. In Rig Veda, it is written that education is something which makes a man self reliant and selfless. According to Ross, education is the development of valuable personality of spiritual individuality. Rousseau has said that education is the child's development from within. Shankaracharya opined that education is the realization of self. According to Socrates, education means the bringing out the ideas of universal validity which are latent in the mind of every man. Spencer has said that education is complete living. According to Vivekanand, education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. Like fire in a piece of flint, knowledge exists in the mind. Suggestion is the friction which brings it out. Tagore has written that education enables the mind to find out the ultimate truth which gives us the wealth of inner light and love and gives significance to life. In Upanishad, it is written that education is that whose end product is salvation. According to Pestology, education is the harmonious and progressive development of all the innate powers and faculties of man, physical, intellectual, and moral. The Education Commission 1964-66 said that education ought to be related to the life, needs and aspirations of the people so as to be powerful instrument of social, economic and cultural transformation. T.P. Nunn wrote that education is a complete development of the individuality of the child so that he can make an original contribution to human life according to the best of his capacity. The reason for difference of opinion is that different educationists, most of whom are philosophers, have different views about the aim of life. According to idealists, the aim of life is spiritual development. As such, they regard education as a spiritual process which aims at bringing together the soul and the Creator, leading to self realization. Pragmatists think about education as a process of social progress. Because of these differences in the philosophy of life, different educationists define education differently. The fact is that the real concept of education is not related solely to any of the above mentioned views. It is more than either of them. In a real sense, education is a sort of synthesis of all the above viewpoints. In this sense, education includes the individual, the society, the environment, the social fabric, and the prevailing traditions. Hence, the definition of education ought to be very comprehensive and all-inclusive one. From the above discussion, it is now clear that since the times of Plato to the modern times of John Dewey and Gandhi, various educationists have defined education in various ways. Speaking frankly, the field of education is so vast and varied that to give a specific definition of education about which all educationists agree is very difficult. We see that some educationists have defined only one aspect of education, whereas the others have emphasized its other phases. Theories of education. There are many theories of teaching prevalent in education, such as the following: the formal discipline theory, Rousseau, James, King, etc. It says that reality should be emphasized, content should be selected on the criterion of the utility in the given society. The natural perfection theory, John Locke. It says that the main aim of education should be to develop a perfect or well disciplined mind of the student. It is possible through a lot of practice. The apperception theory, Herbert. It says that a well balanced personality should be developed through teaching, clearness, organization, system, method, and application. The habit tendency theory, psychologist James. It says that the aim of educationist is to develop habit in the student. This is possible through experiments, practice, and discipline. The human needs theory, psychologist Thorndike. It emphasizes human behavior. Education should satisfy human need. This theory created scientific revolution in education. Universal growth theory. Philosopher John Dewey. Dewey held that education is growth, it is development. He emphasized that the quality of one's experience must be enriched in education through project method, experiments, practical work, community participation. School and community should come closer. Experimental theory, Kilpatrick and Boyd. It says that education must aim at developing democratic character in children. The spiritual self realization theory, philosopher Horam, Fichte, Hegel, Froebel, etc. By education, spiritual knowledge, values, and beliefs must be developed in children. The supernatural development theory, Catholic Christian thinkers. Education should provide knowledge of Christian faith and its practice. The great classic theory, philosopher Aristotle, Saint Thomas, psychologist Adler. Education should be provided according to the great ideas and ideals of ancient, classic, or great books of various civilizations. The social realization theory, philosopher Brimold. Education should be provided keeping in mind that group conflict, group unity, factors determining the group formation, and democratic ideals are the cultural determinants of democratic life of the human beings. The basic subject theory, Braudy, Fadiman. All basic subjects should be taught to children to develop qualities in children and to provide basic knowledge necessary for life. The futuristic theory, futurologist Alvin Toffler. Education need to be futurized. It should develop future consciousness in learners. It should clarify future focused role image in each person. It should motivate and enable the learners to imagine future possibilities and future hurdles and enlighten how one should keep a balance in treating the unknown path in future and avoid dislocated and ruined by future shocks.